This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
The mesmerizing 46 defense orchestrated by Buddy Ryan, Rex and Rob Ryan's dad. Let's envision this amoeba-like mystery. Can be run out of base or nickel. Best defensive lineman needs to be over the center. Think Dan Hampton or Aaron Donald. Two other defensive linemen are opposite both guards. And the rest, 50 minutes from now at 11 o'clock, it's what they do with the linebacker, what they did with three linebackers who always were on the field. Just think about that. They always were on the field, even if it was nickel, not dime. They had to take one or two off. But what they did with their three linebackers is just fascinating, and I'd never heard it. And I've heard a lot of things over the course of a lot of years when it comes to mugging the A-gap or shallow crosses or nines straight down the field or 3-4 hybrids with floaters. Can't say I've ever seen and or heard this, but it was very key to the Bears' 85-46 defense. And why are we bringing that up on a nondescript late July 2025 day? Because after watching Minnesota Vikings training camp practice yesterday, I left it thinking, you know what? Maybe this defense is a new age 85 Bears defense.
I always love that one.
Because it has some mystery and some fascination to it that's even a little different than what we saw last year.
Well, I'm glad you dug into it a bit more, because if you just search, as I did over here, as you got the ball rolling on it, you just search 46 defense, they kind of just explain a 4-3 with a little nuance to it from the safety spot.
And the gap control is super important.
Yeah, so
I read that.
I just see, I'm like, okay, it's a 4-3 with an aggressive safety. Well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal?
Right. See,
well, apparently that the combination of that aggressive safety and some other things that now I'm starting to understand.
Right.
And I think this is something that is right up Mr. Flores' alley.
Whatever, as the kids would say, beefalo in his bag.
I always love that one.
Beefalo in his bag. But the AI, the artificial intelligence generated 46 defense answer you got.
Yeah.
Well, those lucky suckers. I mean, because it hit on the single biggest key to the 46 defense. And beginning at 11:03, I will unfurl which of those. Nordo laid out four things. One of them is an essential key to this defense working. It wasn't orchestrated by the best player on their defense.
No, it was not.
He just had to be the smartest player on their defense, which sounds like he's the hitman. I mean, by the line of scrimmage, almost every single play in
all the time.
Beefalo in his bag, 46 defense.
He's reading runs. He's breaking off into coverage. There's a lot on the plate of that particular safety.
Got KO cuts for us?
Do we have that? I got a couple for you here. I'll admit most of Kevin O'Connell's press conference yesterday, actually, at least the cuts I had in front of me, it was mostly Justin Jefferson related. But it did it put a couple things in my head here. But I'm going to start with this from Kevin O'Connell yesterday, kind of down the road of, other people getting reps and Justin Jefferson still very much a massive presence at camp.
Rehab's going really well, already progressing. So, could end up being a blessing, in disguise in a lot of ways where, Justin's mentally preparing and engaging with his teammates. He's totally, completely present every single day. But at the same time, we're going to we're trying to build him up for 17 plus games. Just very fortunate we're able to get out in front of things the way we were.
So I'm watching camp cuts on the digital side. I'm doing the same thing that Dennis Allen is. I'm looking #Vikes and #Skull of the Bowl, and I'm finding videos from people at camp loving their favorite players, and I'm seeing McCarthy connecting with Jordan Addison all the time, and it was a beautiful thing. A little bit of TJ in the mix too. Yep. TJ's going to have 100+ targets this year, and I hopefully he has a chance to cash in on them.
Nailed it.
But who is getting these extra reps? Who is taking an opportunity or potentially getting an opportunity? If we're breaking down, might keep 10 offensive linemen. We feel like 9 are really on the spot right now, so it's a battle for that final spot. When I'm thinking about things like Rondale, I feel like he's in the mix. Ty Felton, he's a 3rd-round pick. He damn well better be in the mix. But then after that, it's who? And just Silas Bolden. I've seen his name bandied about. Haven't heard a thing out of Tim Jones. I don't know if he's nicked up or what the deal is. I haven't heard anything about him even existing at camp. I assume he's there. But Lucky Jackson's another name, kind of thinking about his growth arc and his attempts to stick, not finding his way to the final 53. Is this possibly the year? Other guys getting opportunities. This is a potentially feast chance for some of these cats further down the depth chart. So I don't think that's hyperbole to say that Justin Jefferson being out of the mix isn't a massive chance for some of these other kids. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Now, Jones, I believe Jones wears 14. And so therefore...
Digsy's old number.
Yeah, Jones 14, body type, angular. He's on the taller side. His upper body's rather strong.
Oh, you're in midseason form right now?
Well, the plays that I've seen them run, I have not seen Jones catch a pass. Okay, now he's a wide receiver, so assumedly he's compensated to catch passes.
Yeah.
But in Trent Sherfield-like fashion, or what's your guy that you like? Played for New England, Arizona State. He was big. Moved him to tight end. No, N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, it's when N'Keal Harry would be in, as the kids would say, in B-Flow's bag while being in the chat, and during training camp practices. I mean, memorizing number and body type, I'm like 87% this is a run when he's in the game.
Yeah.
And they would run, but they were working on things. Same thing with Tim Jones. There was a toss left yesterday to Jordan Mason, and Jones, I believe, motioned from the right side across the line of scrimmage, and he was the one charged with blocking somebody on the edge so Mason could make a play. Now, yours truly had a problem from the exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch, sitting there with Bumpity and JG, is while the play was taking place, Javon Hargrave, Taki Taimani, Jalen Redmond, and Jonathan Allen, 4 of the biggest guys on the team, they took 2 steps to the left. And impeded my view of the end of the play because couldn't see around big people. All I know is the play didn't go anywhere. And 14 was key to that play. So he's with like when you say has any other has a receiver outside of whom you named jumped up and like done something that's been of the descriptive variety. My answer would be no.
Yeah, and I apologize. In some ways, it's kind of like, when I put you on that, when I tee that up for you, it's almost like you want to hear, man, you wouldn't believe what Ty Felton has done, or get to know Silas Bolden, or et cetera. But I have kind of admittedly felt that vibe thus far too, which brings me down another road.
Well, Mouse just sent a text.
Oh, okay.
Johnny the Mouse Mickelson, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team. He wore the C. What will happen first? The explanation of the 46 defense or the year 2046?
I always love that one.
It ain't no fun if Mouse ain't getting none.
to that end, now 3 years in a camp. 3 years in a camp for Kevin O'Connell. I'm sure that it's come up, but in this process of thinking of opportunities without Justin Jefferson, in the idea of thinking about improving the run game, one thing I feel...
I'm sorry to clip.
Yeah.
This is a Steve's Appliances marathon segment.
Mouse texted you that too, didn't he?
I could tell right now.
Yeah, the text was coming.
That we're hitting the 27. I mean, we're hitting the heck out of that 27.
We're going to nail that 27.
Big iHeart boss in Texas, Lowry Mays, whatever the name is. Lowry Mays, maybe? You better get your straddle on here, brother, because we about ready to straddle that thing, man, and it's a people meter changer just like those talkbacks, and everybody's going to get raises in this family except for Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, saddle up, Lowry. Saddle for the straddle.
StevesAppliances.com for the marathons. Sarah and Brian, don't leave home without them. Holy cow. Go to StevesAppliances.com if you need a refrigerator and hit shop deals.
Yeah.
They have a 36-inch Whirlpool fingerprint-resistant stainless steel French door refrigerator.
French door?
Yeah, we're saving almost $800 on this bad boy. They're taking about $800 off, and that deal ends like August 6th. A French door refrigerator, Je m'appelle Paul, nous regardons la télévision, pourquoi? Thank you, Steve's Appliances, and StevesAppliances.com for the old marathons. What were you saying?
When we talk about Justin Jefferson, when we talk about Jordan Addison, one thing we don't talk about, we got yards, we got catches, playmaking, speed and open space. We got tons of touchdowns by the third-year cat from USC. Love that.
Did I answer your last question?
No, I'm winding
about
around.
Wide receivers?
I'm going to get to it.
How many do we generally keep? 6?
Well, his first season, I believe we only kept 5, which is kind of interesting. But, looming suspension here is a guy elevated and then reduced to the practice squad later. There'll be some flexibility by the head coach.
I mean, they got 5 who are as Halvey would say, are in the chat.
I think that if they're keeping 5, they already have 5.
That might be
I think that's truly where they're at.
Rondale, let me just leave you with this, with the wide receiver bit.
Yeah.
Rondale Moore. Really excited to call his games.
HO.
Okay.
I mean, the
Boilermaker.
Yeah, we've seen him before.
Yeah.
We know him well. We know his smell. But he had a debilitating injury last year that cost him the season. So really, this is the first time that I've ever seen him in a practice type setting. He's super, super twitchy and kind of built like Percy Harvin a little bit, not quite as tall. Legs are massive in Earl Campbell-like fashion. And his upper body is super big and thick. So here's landing the plane on this. And I haven't seen this in practice, but I'm envisioning things that we're going to see that we're not seeing now, because why would you show your prime stuff now when everybody's watching? You just run the choice now, and then you run the prime later. I don't know how you sell it, but you get Rondale Moore on some type of screen or quick hitter wide, and just let him do his thing.
Really?
Just let him do his thing.
Just get him on the boundary.
Thank you.
All he has to do is break one tackle.
Between the numbers and the sideline.
Yeah.
And get it out there and just let him. Can
you make that move again? I know it's radio, but can I see the move again?
Who was the cat that I loved from Colorado who went to Carolina? J.C. Horn?
J.C. Horn.
Okay. Now, yeah, that's when I went to a Colorado Buffalo Cincinnati Bearcat game for Family Day at Folsom.
Or was it the Kobe Bryant cat?
No, it was something Horn.
Because Horn was South Carolina, I think.
Oh, okay. Maybe Jimmy Horn Jr.?
Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah. There it is.
Jimmy Horn Jr. and I don't care. Jimmy Horn Jr. and I don't care. Yeah, I saw him make moves like this. Rondale's better than him, but Jimmy Horn Jr. and I don't care. That's what I'm talking about. Get him in space, plant, shake, loose booty, and there he goes.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
You're going to like Rondale. Mark my words.
So as we talk about all these guys, and now you kind of went down a road that kind of furthers my point where I'm going, is we never talk about run blocking with our wide receivers. Now, the other end of the spectrum is you draft Laquan Treadwell in the first round, and the only thing you're really praising him about at that stage is his run blocking ability. Mm-hmm. But you think about, let's go back to McVay. We were talking about tight ends yesterday. One thing Cooper Kupp did at a super high level. One thing Puka till you're satisfied.
Whatever it is.
Does at an unbelievable level is a run block. Everybody on the team freaking run blocks, it feels like. And so where is that in the conversation when you're analyzing his receivers? Whether you keep 5, you keep 6. You mentioned Rondale, big and thick, and those legs like a thoroughbred. That's amazing.
Why'd you slow down your talk when you said you talk about Rondale? Big and thick.
Yeah, I can't hit that baritone octave that you do, and that's what.
Yes, you can.
I start to growl and start to like drool all over myself. It's not pretty. But how much does run blocking play into this? You're trying to, you mentioned the cat. Number
Tim
14,
Jones.
Tim Jones.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to see the finality of the play, but it was
a bad play.
When we're getting to the boundary, yeah, we can pull a guard, and we're hoping Donovan Jackson proves to be a stud at that. And yeah, we have Josh Oliver, and he can break off the line and be a lead blocker. But you think about some of those situations, if, we're doing choice now with prime later, and maybe part of that prime is the QB moving the chains 3 times a game with his legs, like we talked about yesterday.
Yep.
I need willing blocking on the exterior. I need that sort of thing. And so.
Yeah, well, you better become a Ravens fan.
Well, watch their film. Absolutely. But I'm paying Justin Jefferson to be as special as he is. So It's not like I'm trying to pull more out of him. And I've seen him as a willing run blocker.
Yeah, he gets in the way.
That's the thing. It's more of number 18.
He stands in the way.
He's just kind of slyly, like he just kind of finds it. He's a clipping penalty in the run blocking game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something that KO is specifically looking for or seeking out. They
all are always.
I know they are, but we've never really talked about it like, hey, how vital is it that your wideouts in this scheme with this run game?
Yeah.
How physical can they be in those spots? And I mean, Brandon Powell, I saw him with a tush push. I know what he can do run blocking, and it ain't great. But now
he was little.
Moving forward, and he was little.
But after it didn't work, he would say, I twied. So I'm just curious where their heads are at. I think the It's
answer
a great question.
is the right one. There is that they are always looking for that, but you're at the mercy of your personnel's physical.
I accidentally cracked open the 64686, and there was somebody who was like, Rondale Moore. I'm not real familiar with him. Can you bring me up to speed on him? Well, if you don't remember who he is, I'm sure Mike Zimmer does. 3 receivers to the left, Chase Edmonds to the left of Kyler. A.J. Green, sole alone to the right, opposite Bashad Breeland. Here's Stephen Weatherly running in untouched on Kyler, who sprints away to the left, and he throws to an uncovered man. It's Rondale Moore at the 40. Vikings 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals. It is a 77-yard touchdown. Kyler Murray to Rondale Moore.
Right.
Kyler threw up one of those punts on a zero blitz. Harry came up the middle, I believe, on a maybe. It was a zero blitz, meaning there was you got to get the quarterback. You just have to. Kyler threw one of those punts up, and there goes Moore for a 77-yard score. Now he's in our covenant, and I think people are going to like him. It's 10:27. Thank you, Steve's. Thank you, Steve's Appliances, for that marathon segment. It's dealer's choice for Nordo around the corner. If we have more KO cuts, we'll play some KO cuts. We're sitting back on some hot fun in the summertime that includes something called Phony Preach, which is taking place around the National Football League right now. So there's really only one time of the year you can do it, and that would be now. The age-old season wins total bit. We still, you still have 4, right? Or 3?
I got a couple for you.
Yeah, I got 2 or 3, and it's all about making money with your minds. So we are a profit conscious production in this 9 to noon stable. So if we're able to massage, at times, elite football minds and spit out things where we think you can profit because we ain't going to be betting them, then it behooves us to do that today, tomorrow, or Friday. Friday, we will be at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center for the Friday Football Feast, working on guests for that. And we got a lot planned for you today, so make sure you return post-haste to the 9 to noon production at FM 100.3 KFAN. Right?
Oh, I love that song. See,
Nice
this
job.
is what we miss. We miss these bumpers on a Wednesday.
I like this idea, the con. We missed these bumpers Wednesday. We've gone nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, help, lose booty, hot fun in the summertime, and most recently, that was the hot fun was the last one, right?
Yeah, I bet if you've listened, you've listened and you've even, lovingly but seriously, you've chatted like, hey, let's update. Like, I can tell you lean on some bumpers. I got some favorites that I would play pretty often.
Yeah.
I got a feeling if you tried hard, and we're not going to spend 20 minutes doing this, you could guess at least a couple of the remaining 3 that I have picked. Because I'm going straight to my faves.
Yeah.
One I would use maybe for a certain Friday Feast guest on a regular basis.
Take me to church. Da-da-ba-da-da-da.
Take me to church.
Old Soul Cafe.
Oh, not Old Soul. Well, no, Old Soul's that's the elite start. That's all time. That's
let's not play this baby game. Let's just wait. So I can be surprised.
Let's wait and prepare.
The music we play now sucks, but it's a mandated sucking. So we understand it. We don't battle it, but it sucks. So when we get an opportunity once a week to feel this vibe like this,
just let us have it.
Let's just let it happen.
Just give us something.
What do you have up your sleeve now? This hour has a lot to do with the con.
Yeah, indeed it does. I want to. Well, you know what? We're going to do some more teasing for the 11 o'clock because I got some audio here from Blake Cashman, loving his defense, flying around.
Well, I think playing with such a high level of confidence is what this defense needs to be all about, and it's what we're made out of. We play with a lot of intensity and a lot of joy, and when you have that, usually things are going well, and you kind of, I'm a believer of, momentum and energy, and whether it be the coaches or the players, we all feed off one another.
Well, to some, that was sound from Blake Cashman. Well, to me, it was just another Vike bite, and that Vike bite is provided by
Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. Clearwater, Minnesota's finest. His cohort on the line, Ivan Pace, just loves his group, as they all are.
I love my linebacker group, man. We got a new rookie coming in, Kobe getting drafted, and we got three sign-ons. They all good, man. We got E. Will coming back, and then we got Cash and B.A. We just love our linebacker group.
Who has more sacks in 2025? Is it IP? Number 0 with 3 a year ago, or the man who sadly was not a part of 3 games, but in his 14 amassed 4.5. Blake Cashman finding that gap, thrusting his way through, finding the QB 4.5 from Mr. Cashy.
Well, that's a good question.
Cashy!
Yeah, that's a great question, because if you are going to amass 54 turnovers through 16 games, that include 34 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like the 85 Bears did.
Correct.
Well, then the village needs to eat.
Yeah.
So therefore, who's going to be the Richard Dent? 17 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, and a pick 6 in 1985. Take your pick. Who do you like? Grenard or Van Ginkel? It's one of those two. So then on the other side, you're going to have to get some 1s, 1.5, some 4s, 4.5 to get up to 6.5 or 7. If you want to get that lofty 54 turnovers, which could be predicated on sacks.
Yeah, no one ever mentions...
That's a great question you just posed.
No one ever mentions, like, hey, Richard Dent, you're thinking about Otis Wilson as a linebacker. He had double-digit sacks. Steve McMichael. I think people know the name Steve McMichael.
God rest his soul. He died within the last few months.
Not enough people talk about Wilbur Marshall.
Right.
And Wilbur Marshall and the 6 sacks that he provided.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking
Wilbur Marshall was the bomb.
Who's can Cashman or Pace or another, can they be Wilbur Marshall from a statistical perspective, getting to the QB and helping to force all those turnovers?
Well, for the purpose of the question, said query was who will have more sacks and why? Cashiat, why? Or Ivan Pace Jr.? Damn, that's a good question right there. I like Blake Cashman's pass covering ability more than Ivan Pace Jr.'s.
Okay.
That's just my taste. Don't at me. I'm trying to get in my bag.
I think what kind of the allure of Ivan Pace from when he was in college and now getting to see 2 years of him.
Yeah.
I think he has, there's a natural talent associated with timing and those things. I think he's high end on that timing standpoint.
Yep.
Right place, right time.
Yep.
I would actually lean for, and this is while loving the man in the middle who's going to probably lead the team in tackles and make a fair share of his own plays.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning number 0.
Well,
I'm kind of leaning Ivan Pace.
But to low key, while in my bag, saying, I know, right? Being hit legit at 1041, paying off the 46 defense definition and envisioning it via radio as the amoeba 3-4 hybrid with floaters it may be. Just think about the totality of that last sentence. Holy cow. 3-2. I'm more thinking which of these linebackers, because they're all opposite the tight end.
Ooh.
Every single play.
Yes, they are.
Which one's going to be the outside and what's his role? Which one's going to be the inside and what's his role? Likewise for the middle. There's somebody in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Blake Cashman would be the leading candidate if it has a 46 defense feel to it.
Middle.
But I can't say that it's going to have the complete Buddy Ryan-esque type feel. Man, that's a dead heat. I can't split them because I think Cashman's going to cover the pass more, and I think Cashman's going to play more. So therefore, that kind of is a self-defeating prophecy.
It's true. And
that if the guy plays more and he covers the pass better than the other guy, that means he probably will be farther away from the line of scrimmage more than 0. So 0 would seem to be the rush guy, so I'd go with 0.
I think it's Ivan Pace of those two.
Yeah.
In a completely...
He wears 0.
I mean, it's a late July talker, but number 0, I think in this particular situation would be that guy. Now, Byron, with his 6 picks a year ago, he's got to be Leslie Frazier this year, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and doubt him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But see, I think the Bears, I don't believe Leslie Frazier was the best corner on the 85 Bears. I think it was Dave Duerson. I think there was a player named Dave Duerson who was considered their best corner.
Now, they have him listed as a safety.
Who, Duerson?
Duerson.
Yeah.
And he only had 5 picks.
Oh, that's it?
Kind of a tough season.
That's a rough season.
That other safety, Gary Fensick.
Yep.
I thought he left a lot on the table, too, with his 5 interceptions. So it's difficult.
How good was that pass rush?
I mean, hold on. Am I dumb in not knowing more about Wilbur Marshall with his 6 sacks and his 4 picks?
Well, see, I remember...
Or Mike Richardson with another 4?
No, I don't remember Richardson. Jeez. When I lived in Washington, D.C., Wilbur Marshall was 58 for the Washington Redskins. But I think it may, because I wasn't in D.C. in 85. So I think Marshall left and became a Redskin after the 85 Bears.
After the 87.
Okay, so he was later in his career.
Starting in 88 when he was 26, he joined the Skins, yeah.
Yeah, now Marshall... Yeah, see, that's like Grenard, all those sacks. The gink is on fire. All those interceptions, sacks, and touchdowns.
Yeah, how about, more...
But like Cashman or Ivan Pace Jr., well, that's the Marshall role there. Marshall, well, Singletary's HOF immortality. So, I mean, that's, we're putting an awfully lofty ranking on somebody to compare him to them to him. But nevertheless, if you're going to play a form of a 46 defense that really is a 3-4 hybrid with myriad floaters, and mystery and intrigue are what a couple of defensive plays should be called, because it's a mysterious defense that intrigues me. You got to figure out which, with Cashman or Ivan Pace Jr. or Dallas Turner or Gabriel Murphy, like who's going to fill that role? It's just fascinating, the con.
Well, I'm annoyed. Okay, so he was given 109 solo tackles in 1985. Because when you look at, I got StatHead, okay? I mean,
109 solos?
I'm only a producer, but I'm making a couple of bucks. I can afford StatHead, Pro Football Reference.
When you're making plays.
But they don't have, in 1985, they don't have his tackles listed. So I had to go to AI. So yeah, he had 100 tackles. He had 3 sacks. He had an interception. He had 3 fumble recovery. Okay.
Do you think when that guy
Singletary was pretty good.
Do you think when that guy was talking to Curtis Mayfield that he said, look, I'm only a producer.
HOF.
But I got this idea. I heard you over in the corner.
HOF.
I mean, you and the bass player just had the fattest blunt in the world, and I wanted to roll over there and join you, but I got some thinking to do.
HOF.
And I heard you going, ba-da-da-ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
How about this? And then it ends up being the song that we heard, which means he's not just only a producer.
HOF.
He's a producer who produces.
No, I think that's possibly exactly how it happened. Now, I'm thinking like back alley outside of the studio. Everybody, well, these are the days where you probably smoked inside. So you didn't go outside to hammer on the Lucky Strikes. You probably just did it in the studio in those days.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's just smacking a filterless Pall Mall and just sitting around and just like, yeah, like this. What do you think about these horns? Hey, Garrett.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, get the horns on the line.
Right.
And 2 weeks later, they had a hit.
Right. And that was orchestrated by a producer.
The producer.
So it's not, I'm just a producer. No, this is a vital role on a team that is a fist. And it's a fist of solidification and a fist of cohesiveness, charged with delivering pertinent and super important information like we've delivered today. The ins and outs and roots of attack for a 46 defense that's an amoeba and really is a 3-4 hybrid with floaters. Just think of that. Man, somebody's getting in their bag. Man.
News to Nord is brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. And, of course, whether it's live racing in the mix, you have poker, blackjack, table games, feeling the felt all year long. You can do it all at Canterbury, and you can go to CanterburyPark.com for all the details. So
including the fact that we race tonight. We are in the second half of our season. We start at 5 o'clock. We have a 10 race card tonight. Make money with your mind. Hit the pick 5. And come say hello this evening at Canterbury Park, where the people come to play. Canterbury Park, where it's summer every day. Horses sing. Ba-ba-da-da-da. 5 o'clock for the first race tonight. CanterburyPark.com.
So the Minnesota Twins lose yesterday to the Red Sox 8-5. And I think it was Brooks Lee, potentially. And I'm just scrambling to put this in front of me. I'm about 90% sure I'm accurate on this. But
we good.
It's all about making sure that we are correct in the way that we put things. Carlos Correa had to leave after like a couple innings yesterday, and apparently it was like an illness. Maybe he was feeling lightheaded. Brooks Lee replaces him, and indeed, he accounts for all 5 RBI yesterday, including 2 homers. So he's responsible for all 5 of those runs, albeit in a losing effort. Twins, 5 games under 500, and of course continuing to languish and find themselves farther and farther away from playoff contention. Trade deadline is tomorrow evening. But I saw this report courtesy of Bob Nightingale, and I'm pulling this off of SI, the Twins' particular page. USA Today's Bob Nightingale said that that there's entering the rumor mill Carlos Correa's name with a report from Nightingale that the Astros might be interested in reuniting with a 30-year-old star. Nightingale, citing a high-ranking executive, says the Astros are also Nolan Arenado and Eugenio Suarez, the Diamondbacks all-star slugger.
Yeah, but he just the Suarez part is what is going to be a problem here. He just got hurt, and I think it's a bad injury.
Oh, well, then he's out of the mix.
Well, I think it's interesting you bring this up because, like, I think a trade was almost consummated.
Oh, really? Close to the finish line.
My man gets hurt, and then now I think Correa has entered the chat. So it might have worked like that.
Well, here's what Nightingale says, and Bob Nightingale's been doing this for a long time, so I'd like to believe that I can trust his intel. He says Correa has told friends he'd be willing to waive his no-trade clause for the opportunity to return to Houston, where he and his family still reside in the offseason. And then just kind of notes the particulars. He's still owed north of $100 million. for 31 and 26, 30 and a half, 27, 30 and 2028. And Nightingale adds the Astros surely would demand the Twins to pay a portion of that contract in any trade talks. So they have until 5 o'clock Thursday, but we've mentioned Joe Ryan and just kind of thinking, how many cards do you hold in this? What kind of Brinks truck worth of goodies do you want in return if you are going to move on from a guy that you still got for a few years at a pretty good dollar in Joe Ryan with his performance? Byron Buxton certainly off the table. You hope he ends his career ultimately as a Minnesota Twin, hopefully with some more playoff games under his belt, by the way. But Carlos Correa, kind of much maligned this season, PA, in terms of just the up and down nature of it. He's batting .267. You're not seeing the clutch nature. You're not seeing the power hitting by any stretch of the imagination. And so the fans, for what they're getting, you're liking the defense, you're hating the hitting. There's a rumor out there that Carlos Correa potentially could be gone.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to have this come across as flippant, but they can have him. I mean, who on the team can they not have?
Right.
Honestly, you can have anybody.
You potentially could say, even though if you're connected to the aura and the love and the investment of a Buxton, you'd say that's non-negotiable.
Right.
But really outside of that, even Joe Ryan, who, again, you're going to get for a couple more years very, very cheaply compared to his production if this production continues.
Yep.
You really can't say that anything is off the table, ownership situation in flux and all of that.
Yep.
This whole thing is very fluid in this moment.
Well, right. It's when why should I not, or why can I not say, I don't care who leaves, when you don't care who owns your team? When you don't care where of course you care, so let's not take this 10 to 10 seriously. But, I mean, in the Comcast covenant, I got to go to something called 1261 to watch an inning.
Yeah.
And so then you get into the next layer, the malpractice that is Major League Baseball, lacking a salary cap and being like the Yes Network group in the Big Apple or whatever in Los Angeles, Seattle, places like that. Because that TV money is so voluminous and so large, they're able to fortify their covenant.
Yeah.
We're not. Right. You got the Athletics playing in Sacramento in some minor league park. The Rays.
Players are actually getting hurt there, including Correa, by the way, because the field's so awful.
Right.
Just what a moribund situation that is. Like, he had to switch to, rubber cleats or something because his back was getting hurt playing in Sacramento at that awful stadium.
Yeah. I pull for the team.
Yeah.
It would be cool if the team was in the postseason and has a puncher's chance. But it's just, if you're a fan who has lost a feel for this right now, remember Joe Ryan was interviewed around the All-Star game about potentially being traded. And the first thing he said was, and he didn't mean it maliciously, but he said, yeah, that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
But then he got into the business part of it and everything. Well, that's human nature sharing. Things are convoluted here.
Yep.
It's just, you guys only, he didn't say this, but you guys only know 15%. If you knew the other 85, wow. So it's Chris Paddock goes today for the Tigers. All right. So Chris Paddock, if you missed it, he was traded. He had a nice start against the LA Dodgers. He had an awful start against the Colorado Rockies. And that's who Chris Paddock has become.
Correct.
But there was a market for Chris Paddock. So if you want Carlos Correa, Falvey does a really good job with his hands completely freaking tied behind his back.
Yeah.
What a difficult position that is Derek Falvey has. You make Carlos Correa or player du jour available to Houston, they ain't going to give you Hunter Brown. They're not going to give you Framber Valdez. Okay, they might offer up this L who goes today, Ryan Gusto. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So that's the whole situation, the totality of the situation right now.
I would bet actually that's incredibly lopsided and almost entirely financially based if they do that.
Yeah.
Where it's it's the NBA expiring contract type of thing where you're going to get whatever that Enrique Jimenez catching prospect bit was from the Paddock trade.
Wow.
You're going to get something like that with the return value being we're out from under the cloud of this $100 million remaining on the deal.
Because we have to shed bottom line money or prospective owners A, B, and C won't be interested.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's true, And, I mean, it very well could be, because when there are transactions this grandiose, things like that happen. Shedding, bottom line type stuff, so I can get in and at least have a chance. So stuff like that definitely could be transpiring. The losers here are the fans. The ones who, Billy, Johnny, Christy, Susie, Tamika, Antoine, there are thousands to tens of thousands of people in this state where the Minnesota Twins are their favorite team.
Yep. Over
the Vikings, Timberwolves, and Wild.
I was stuck behind a Subaru on the way to work today. 3 stickers in the back window, Twins related.
Right.
Yeah, he loves the team.
So those people matter. But see, those people, they're going to be patient, willing to wait. But there's a lot through which to wait right now.
Yeah, there is. And I wasn't arguing with you, but I was kind of applying maybe a different perception of what Joe Ryan was talking about and the way he was speaking.
Yeah.
I think he actually is totally okay with being traded. I've 100%. Seen kind of subsequent or some additional leading into it. I think he's actually totally okay with going to a contender and having the chance to win a ring if that happens.
Let me lay it out for you like this. Even if it's not a contender who's a favorite to win the World Series.
Sure.
But it's a team that potentially or for sure will make the postseason.
Okay.
Ever since stuff like this went public, and like Joe's been talking about it, and other people have been talking about Joe, see his last start? It was awful.
It wasn't good.
Okay. Distraction is the ultimate equalizer, man.
Yes, it is.
Now, Chris Paddock caught wind after the Colorado game, and I was in attendance for that game, and he might as well have thrown underhand pitches to Hunter Goodman and something called Jordan Beck, because they were getting around on him hard. Well, then he caught wind that he may be traded. See his last start against the Dodgers? Like 7 innings, 1 earned run.
There we go.
Walks and hits per innings pitched was the best in the history of Chris Paddock.
He's ready.
Right.
He's ready for the next chance.
And see,
was he trying out for the Dodgers?
See our Twins brethren. So like those who I know and we know listen, and we may be on in the offices right now.
Sure.
Dustin Morris, people like that. Hey, they no hard feelings here, man.
I think they know we want the team to win every game.
And if they don't, you're stupid if you don't. If you've listened to a week or two of 9 to noon talk about any team, we prefer when the teams win.
Yeah.
Because it makes it more fun for everybody involved, and that's what we're looking for. But this comes with no hard feelings. I just want to let you know that things with this baseball team now are akin to the zipper merge that's around Highway 13 and Freeway 35. It's just, you think, oh, wow, wait, I have a saloon passage here. No, you don't. 35's going to empty, and it's going to be a 15-minute line again. And we feel you. We recognize the things through which you're going, which are completely out of your control.
Yes.
This is big boy, big money stuff that works at a level at which the Con and I never will work, never will negotiate, and never will deal. And that's completely fine. But there are those catching strays along the way, and that would include team employees who have to keep their mouths shut and they can't formulate an opinion, certainly on social media. Why? Because they might be fired.
Right.
And fans who are like, let me get this straight. Chris Paddock sucked here. He had a great start. He left, and now he's good. Joe Ryan was like, yeah, I think that'd be exciting, to potentially be traded. Where he didn't mean it maliciously, but he was like, hey, yeah, to like be on the Tigers and have it go Scooble, Flaherty, me. Well, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Riley Green, I think it's Kerry Carpenter, Super Special Torkelson, Gleyber Torres, Javier Baez.
Labor Day.
All those guys. That would be great.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have somebody who owns the team. The TV deal is great, and we're able to bring in people because of it. And we're actually able to function like a stable organization. Yeah, that would excite me too.
Sounds awesome, as a matter of fact.
So ain't nobody running anybody down here, okay? So let's not have people take things personally. But the facts are the facts, man. And you know what? I don't like here's the reality. I don't like when people say that to me. But I'm going to do it right now because I think I have equity enough to do it over 20 some odd years of covering sports in this market. Here's the reality. Distraction is the ultimate equalizer. I've seen it 8 million times in 8 million different sports situations. You can be going great guns, and then there all of a sudden is a distraction, and under the cover of darkness and out of nowhere, you all of a sudden suck. Or you're being terrible, and a distraction is eliminated, and you go Chris Paddock on it at Chavez Ravine, where you outpitch a Dodger, and you only give up one earned run to Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Andy Pages, and the rest of those cats, okay? Because that matters in pressure-filled businesses. Distraction can end it all. Eliminating distraction can begin things anew. I'm just saying, Paddock might have caught wind. He had a chance to leave. He pitched the best game he's pitched in 10 years. Joe Ryan starts talking about trades and stuff, and nothing happens. He has his worst game of the year. Go ahead and put that 2 and 2 together because it's real.
Speaking of distractions to the NFL, a couple of nuggets to finish NDN, brought to you by the Casino at Canterbury Park. Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, he'd been holding out. He's heading back to work, PA. He's ending the hold out.
Covenant cleanup, Harley Schultz via Twitter. Thank you, Harley Schultz via Twitter. Suarez for the D-backs got hurt. It slowed things with that Houston bit because I read that last night. But he's playing today.
Oh, he is.
Covenant cleanup provided by nobody. Harley Schultz, Nuclear Harley via Twitter. Very kind for the Covenant cleanup. Thank you very much. So we got that right.
So distraction factor, Trey Hendrickson back to work for the Bengals. Still no deal. Still not close. But he is returning to practice.
So he's he's gone from a holdout to a hold in?
I think he's just going to work. I think he's going to do his thing, and he's going to make $16 million this year. I wonder what the amount of leverage is. Did they change a bit where you can't wipe clean the $50,000 a day bit with the holdouts?
I don't think you can. No, I don't.
So maybe that played into it with the daily fines? Because at one point that was a talker where, we saw it with Daniil, a little bit of hold-in, how much is he going to make? And he was never really a true on-site malcontent per se, but that was always kind of in the mix those last couple of years with him. Micah Parsons says that the sides aren't close. I did want to play this.
Is Parsons practicing?
I think Parsons is practicing.
Well, then the $50K, whatever it is a day fine-wise, absolutely cannot be just discarded.
Well, the thing with Micah, though, Micah played the soft tissue bit. Because at one point he was...
the old earache.
Yeah, let me see. Cowboys...
The old earache
standoff. Projected trade price, massive haul. I'm looking for articles here. I almost can guarantee that I read somewhere
they can't waive that money anymore.
That he either had an ankle or a hammy or that sort of thing going with it. I'm going to play a little LaFleur audio for you because I enjoyed this interaction here. Packers camp, what's going on east of the border? Let's listen to his most recent press conference. Talking about a wide receiver. How do you check on guys that are making plays, the obscure ones, guys trying to make a jump on the depth chart? What about Sam Brown Jr.?
Trying to make a play a day, trying to hopefully get noticed, maybe get some more opportunities. Does that happen through the staff? Is that where, like, say you ask, or maybe you notice it on film, or you ask the guys like Jason, those guys, like, what's he like? Because I know you can't watch every single second of every single practice, so.
What are you talking about? That's my job. I absolutely watch every play. Yeah, I mean, but that's the beauty of having the film is you always go back and you review everything. And so collectively as a staff, you're making those decisions. And it's important for young players when given opportunities to go out there and make plays. And then for a lot of these young guys, it's the level of consistency because you guys love to blow up all the splash plays, but you don't see all the things in between those. And so there's moments where it's just and I'm not talking about Sam in particular, I'm talking about all these guys, it's hard for you guys, which it would be for me if I was standing on the sidelines, to see when these guys, maybe they make a mistake, maybe they run a wrong route. So there is some of that's going on, and that's probably most of the guys. I shouldn't say most of the guys, but a lot of the guys. There's some inconsistencies. So the more consistent you can perform, and then when given those opportunities to make those plays, then everybody takes notice.
Yeah, I just love that. You can't watch. No, that's my job. No, that's the thing that I do actually for a living is I watch every single one of these plays.
I can't believe that somebody asked that.
Beauty of film and the whole thing. But they were, the reason he was bringing that up is because in the way that we might, now Dwight McGlothern, we know him, and he's had a couple of great days, a couple of picks in a row for him at practice.
Yeah.
But Sam Brown, I think it's Sam Brown Jr., is like back of the depth chart, right? So he's got his 4 number ones. We heard him tell you about that a couple of years ago. We don't have 1 number 1 receiver. We have 4. Okay, LaFleur, calm down. You drafted Matthew Golden in the first round this year, so maybe he'll be your number 1. But this Sam Brown cat is making explosive plays, and LaFleur just kind of had to bring that gentleman who asked the question back down to earth a little bit in terms of what they're seeing at camp.
Yeah, Matt sounded, just think about what you've heard this training camp from Ben Johnson and from Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard some Dan Campbell. I haven't. And then what you've just heard from LaFleur, it sounds like he's gripping. It sounds like he
was testy for sure, a little contentious, excuse me.
Yes. And, he had to correct himself where, that happens with a lot of guys. I mean, actually, some of the guys make mistakes. So I'm not used to hearing Matt like that.
Is everything ho-hum in Green Bay?
Well, they're going to be good. So, I mean, if they can stay healthy, they have a chance.
I think
everybody in this division has a chance.
We have 3 double-digit win teams in this division again. Yeah. I truly believe that. If Packers stay healthy, I love our shot despite, schedule terrorism. The Kitties, I'm still, I just change and everything new, but somebody's going to jump up. Who takes, if the Lions take a precipitous drop because of change and because of what's new, who fills that void? It could be Chicago. We just have a really interesting mix here with a lot of new, hell of a lot of talent. But I think the Packers are, I shouldn't say cinch, but I kind of feel that way. A cinch double-digit win caliber team if everything goes right. But it starts with love, starts with that back foot, starts with poise under pressure. Ooh, he's gripping right now, PA, the contentious head coach.
Sounded like he was gripping a little bit.
Trouble in paradise.
Yeah, I like Matt, what I know of him. But that was very interesting. That was good, as was News du Nord, provided by Canterbury Park, canterburypark.com. 5 o'clock racing tonight if you're interested. And when 9 to noon continues, we were like, the con said there are going to be 3 double-digit win teams in this division again. And I believe he'll be right. And the Bears have a puncher's chance, or maybe a little more than a puncher's chance of making the postseason. But what is the coach? What's Kevin Stefanski saying to the Cleveland Browns with a season wins total at 4.5? They just lost a starting corner named Emerson for the season. They've had off-field problems with a rookie. And then you got all the Deshaun Watson stuff. Chick Nub's gone.
He's talking about his favorite place to stay in Turks and Caicos in late February.
If Kevin Stefanski, which I know he's not, and he's too smart to do this, is standing in front of the team, preaching to them, here's how we can win the Super Bowl. Here's how we can win the division. Here's how we can make the playoffs. It's a phony preach. And we'll get into that with some other teams when 9 to noon continues on FM 100.3 KFAN.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.